Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros. Jon and Nez hanging out. Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people. And we got a weird slate today. We got a funky little 5-gamer. Some weather has moved some games around and such. So gonna be a shorter dynamic to today. But there are some brand new contests up in the Underdog lobby of the best ball variety. We'll walk through some of those, and then we'll talk about the weekend that was. We had some hoop slates mixed in there. We had a really good football slate there. Yes, well, one good game yesterday, and then one snow globe second half there. We'll walk through some of the winners. Shout out to our guy Pete Overzet over there, taking down 2 contests over the weekend. Much love there. And then we'll plan out the week here ahead. Another Dog Bowl week there, Nez, where we're going to be drafting on Wednesdays and Fridays this week. So yeah, looking forward to the week ahead.
Yeah, I think that Patriots Broncos game, snow or no snow, was going to be what it was. Just abysmal viewing. But it's the AFC Championship. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? But yeah, man, everyone around here is piling up dubs. I mean, at least 2/3 of the off and on the clock crew are piling up dubs, which people forget. John, how much do you win for qualifying for the Dog Bowl?
My account had a beautiful plus 10,000.
10K. 10K. Well, yeah. I mean, you know what that means, man. You know what that means. Let's go. How does it feel?
Yeah, the long-awaited winner's circle. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yeah, that's 50,000 Canadian. I'm not gonna lie, man. That one felt good. It was a really nice sweat experience, or a really, to some extent, agonizing sweat experience. Let's get this off. No, it was a good, fun sweat experience. I was happy to do it in the fashion in which I did it. We can walk through the lineup there, but having a 5% scroll the F down in there, and then having some of my bit equity guys over the years also mixed into the lineup was pretty cool. But more than anything, Nez, I'm just like, it was nice little bit of validation, like we do this show every single day. I haven't won shit in a while. Maybe I don't play as much as I used to. Maybe I don't, grind as hard as some of the other people in the community. But like when everybody else is out here cashing checks and winning stuff, and I've been to every Dog Bowl thus far and yet to participate, it's going to mean a little something more to me to participate in one this year. So I was quite happy. I'm not going
to lie. As you should be. I was really happy for you. You're gonna put your kind of whole brand and mantra to the test here. Mr. Calm, Cool, Collected, Mr. Never Sweat. I mean, we'll see about that. We'll see about that when the big check's in front of your face and you see what you're playing for. I don't know, man. Are the lights gonna be too bright? I hope not. I certainly hope not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The little palms get a little sweaty, a little clammy out there. I start. I'm starting trying to slide my finger to slide a little bit further down in the queue, and it won't let me. I'm going to become a projection, bro, when it's all said and done there. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's going to definitely add a new wrinkle to the experience of the weekend, because normally, I'm doing, the interviews and the content, and you and I are just, having wobblies with everyone and that sort of thing. And now I'm going to have to put a little bit of prep, especially when it's NBA versus like NFL. NFL, you have like that whole week lead up. NBA, it's going to be like a new slate to learn. It's going to be much like doing the show on like a Monday morning like this, where I'm going to have to spend, a couple hours before, like leading up, to be like, oh, I gotta get my plays in order, that sort of thing. But yeah, no, man, I'm quite happy. I'll talk about the sweat experience when we bring up the lineup, because I did sweat. I'm normally a hashtag never sweat guy, but I did sweat that one, and it's a little agonizing, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll talk through that. But appreciate the love from the community, man. Like so many people, like in Discord, in the DMs, like the tweet had like 30,000 views and 200 likes. Like it was just very nice and very refreshing that people are just like so kind about it, because I know there were a lot of people on the on the other side of my victory, there's a lot of members of the community who were really close that don't get there. So the fact that they're genuinely happy for me is very nice. So appreciate everyone. Yeah.
Of course, man. I mean, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, man. You got a lot of fans, a lot of supporters out here. We're all very happy for you. I'm glad you got your flowers.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Now you're next. You're next. We got to spend these next couple slates to get you a seat as well. You're going to be very deserved of it, man.
We'll see. I'm paying for your yacht, brother. I think that's my role in this operation.
I love it. Oh, good, clean fun. Let's start with the football, I think, and then we'll talk about the basketball sweat and then we'll move into hoops, just kind of like natural progression. Were you able to sneak any gauntlet teams through? Were you able to have any success in the daily streets? What about that from your angle?
For today's slate?
No, for football stuff from the weekend.
Oh, I had an okay. I had a good slate. It could have been a lot better. Those last two Puka and Stafford connections.
Yeah, with the 35 seconds on the clock or whatever.
I wasn't sweating it, but I know for a fact at one point late in the fourth quarter, I was up like 5 figures, and then I ended up winning like $900 at the end of the day. So
yeah,
I didn't sweat like what I was up before they got the ball. So that was nice. All I know is like, hey, I won money on the slate, but I know at one point I was looking good. So it is what it is, man. I put a lot of time into that slate.
Yep.
Shout out to Solver. I was two and nub with the Solver. Checking the combos, getting my scroll down, seeing where I'm concentrated on, things like that. So yeah, happy with how it played out.
Right on, dude. Yeah, nice. The gauntlet stuff or any of the playoff contests, were you able to get anything through?
No, I mean I got things through, but like I'm not live for any. I don't have any of the combos that you need. All my Seattle stuff was like tied to sharps, really.
Right.
Like all the JSN stuff I lost early, and the rest of my Seattle stuff I was like really sharps heavy for the goal line stuff. So it was kind of DOA as soon as he tore his ACL. For me, really was hoping for a Rams win to bring to chop with 200 of my friends for a Rams Pats Super Bowl, but Seattle's so goddamn good, man. They're so good. So
yeah, I thought they were a fake wagon, and they've proven me wrong in a big way. And then Sam Darnold just has like the best game of his life and goes like blow for blow with Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford 350 and 3 for Stafford, and they lose the NFC Championship game. Like just crazy, man.
That Darnold throw, the touchdown pass that he made like from like the 19-yard line, I forget, was it to Cup, I think? Like that was like over the middle.
Yeah.
That was nails, man. Like pressure in his face, just like no worries whatsoever on a dot where it had to be for Coop. Like that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah,
like, that was absolute nails.
Yeah, the one over the middle was the Jake Bobo one. Like back.
No, I'm not talking about the Bobo one.
You're talking about the up and out for Cup along the front side of the goal line.
No, I forget which throw it was. It was over the middle throw. Yeah. Like right hash line. Pressure in his face, stood up in the pocket, and like didn't waver whatsoever. Like it was really, really impressive.
Pretty sick, man. Yeah. Pretty good weekend for a Hawks fan and a Dog Bowl participant there for your boy. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice for the Laundry Bros.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day too. I was so tempted to go on Sunday morning, and then we opted to get together and watch it around here otherwise. But man, it was a gorgeous day. Like I was like, that would be a hell of a ball game to be at. And some of my buddies were going down too, so I was like, oh, I can just fucking hop in with the boys and go.
The only place in the world where it was nice out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, it's actually pretty fucking nice out right now too. So, let's take a look at some of these contests here, Nez, and then we will rip through. We will talk first about the football here. I ended up getting 61 of them in. Had myself a big losing slate because I jammed the DeBomb and nothing good happened in the DeBomb streets. Fullback dive, jammed that bad boy. Pete takes it down. I didn't realize how like obtainable this combo was. I basically had no Puka plus Adams, let alone Puka plus Adams plus staff. But some people were able to get a good amount of that. We talked about it on Off and On the Clock. How I was like, dude, I like these punt running back builds where you just take Corum with your last pick. This one turns onto an onslaught. We talked about the 1-1-3-1s from the onslaught variety. Beautiful lineup from Pete here. Shout out to Pete. Gets a full game stack. Cup is the only piece you need. On the other side of that one, he also took down the Deposit Kingdom, the flagship Deposit Kingdom contest there. Mini Royale was Seedmeister and the Hot Sauce and Mies. Mies is in third. So it was the Hot Sauce and the Hot Sizzles and the Seedmeister take it down to friends of the show here and avid participants in the chat. Exact same lineup. You're going to see a lot of overlap in this.
Yeah.
And then the main BR was a big dupe fest of the exact same lineup. There was 11 of them in there. It looks like in the chat, though, unfortunate, Philandia was in first there. And then that last Puka catch was what flipped him for the dupe train. That's so unfortunate, man. Oh, yeah, I feel for you there.
That's tough.
Yeah, there you go. So he was duped as well. Okay, so it was it was train versus train, but his train was shorter. And the only difference in the lineup was literally a 1v1 of JSN versus Puka.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal, man.
That's that had been a tough watch. Because thought for sure they could have just ended the game right then and there. And then those catches don't even matter because the clock runs out on them. It's not like those catches they didn't get out of bounds. It's just a frustrating way to lose.
Yeah, no doubt. What else we got here? The bomb winner. Who's the bomb winner? Griselda. Go with that. Griselda.
Yeah.
Very similar team, except for Rashid Shaheed was enough to get it done in those streets instead of Cooper Kupp. Rashid Shaheed had that opening drive, big ass bomb. Eerily reminiscent. We made the Marvin Mims versus Rashid Shaheed comp last week, and they basically did the exact same thing on the opening drive. They both had 50 yarders on the opening drive of their respective games, which was kind of funny.
I know, right? It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Good shit there. So, yeah, well done. Everybody's lineups relatively similar. Your boy didn't cash shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, you had to have that combo, the Puka Devontae combo, but JSN Devontae, was close. So you're looking at a 1 point difference of the two. Yeah, a little bit easier to get. But really, it was all about not reaching for Harvey and waiting on Corum. That was the deciding factor, and also not reaching for Hunter Henry either. Those are the two things that you were looking for.
Yeah, and then Kupp wound up outscoring Sutton, right? That was a big one because so many of these let's see. These ones. Yeah, where Sutton puts up the 9-2 and then Kupp put the 11 whatever. So you needed the two wide receivers start basically.
Right.
Yeah, and then Stafford outscored Sam Darnold on those last two throws by fractions of points too.
It was the combination of Puka and Stafford that really, really, really lost me a lot of money. So glad I don't know how much I lost. That's all.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, let's see. I got really burnt by the Pat Bryan stuff. I had 32% Pat Bryan, and then I had a lot of Hendo because I was playing the punt. As you could see, I was playing the punt QB build where I was just trying to do Puka, JSN, and Adams, but then I was doing the Darnold side of it just because it was cheaper. But my punt, I picked the wrong punt running back. I was doing the 1-1-3-1s with Hendo instead of doing them with Corum just because of ADP, right? I still wound up with 24% Corum, and that was a spot that I liked. But yeah, I just didn't. Yeah. Anyways, decent little weekend there for you. Great weekend for Pete. And my weekend was all bent up in this bad boy here. Uh, Shout out to 85 who made the last Dog Bowl as well. There, a beautiful double scroll team for him. He goes with the Jacques Landell scroll, who I said on our paywall program was my favorite sixth rounder until he got the Q tag, and then Nemhard with a scroll as well. So he pairs a 10 percenter and a 22 percenter together. And then your boy here, Nez, Sabonis, baby. Can we have the Sabonis combo? And nobody wanted to have it with me, so I just drafted 10 Sabonis teams on my own time, because what if he just plays 30 minutes and he wound up they were down, I think they were down like 24-6 to start the ball game, and then they did a full line change, and then they got themselves back into the ball game in the second half, and then in the to start the second half, they just ran it back with this grouping. And what if the All-NBAer just played 30 minutes and the All-NBAer decided to play 30 minutes there? It was a little bit of an agonizing sweat, though. I'm not going to lie, guys. I mean, there was, I had kind of like the overtime in Brooklyn and Boston. And I'll be the first to admit, like, you know, you got to run pure as fuck to get this. So we get a little overtime in Boston plus Brooklyn there. You get the high score on the slate in Evan Mobley in the second round, which, you know, wasn't a GM, but it was like a little bit of a unique pairing. Zion, you know, we get him in there. I was bouncing between him and Trey Murphy, like back and forth. I said I really liked both of them there, was playing a lot of them. And then we get IQ in here, and IQ scores 22 fantasy points in the first quarter. And I was like, wow, man, like there's nobody around me. And the other game, as long as there was two late games, right? There was Denver and the Bucks. And then there was this Portland and Raptors game, right? And the Bucks game looked like it was over. You know, Aaron Gordon gets hurt after having a really good half there. He re-aggravates something. So that's some run good for me. Giannis gets banged up too and is kind of like going back and forth from the bench, and then eventually pulls his calf and is out of there. But then that game, man, was a 20-point deficit that gets cut to 2 in the last like 2.5 minutes. And I was like, holy shit, if we get overtime here, I'm probably drawing dead, right? Because so many people had the Jalen Pickett swap, right, for the Jamal Murray stuff. Anyways, fortunate enough that doesn't go to overtime. And then to start the second half, I just need 19 fantasy points from Quickly, and I basically need Klingon to not score 50, right? It was basically, that was all the math. And Emmanuel Quickly had 22 in the first quarter, let alone the first half. And it was like, man, this is easy sailing. They'll just keep going back to him or whatever. And the whole second half, he does fuck all. He does nothing. Like, it was crazy, man, after having such a big first quarter. And then basically they play Klingon off of the floor because the drop big stuff wasn't working. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Quickly's going to come out and start cooking here. And he, with like 5 minutes left, he's on the bench, and they go to the shed unit for on-ball defense. And I was like, holy shit. So I needed 6 fantasy points for the last like 11 minutes of the fourth quarter, right? So kind of crazy, man. Anyways,
you kind of thought that didn't you think that you had just like the grossest beat ever at first? Like, didn't he, when he got subbed out, wasn't that like minutes left? It was like 2.5 minutes left. Yeah. And you were not winning.
No, I wasn't winning.
And you certainly thought that he was not coming back in. Like,
I was like, maybe they go small and they play the two beside each other. But like, they call timeout and they bring him back in. And then he gets a steal on the very first possession. Yeah. And I'm up like 0.6. Yeah. And then there's 44 seconds left and they're up 10. And I'm like, dude, just don't even put him back on the floor, because if he gets a turnover, it's -1.
And he was handling the ball. So you're like, you do not want that turnover.
Right. I'm like, please don't be the inbounder and please don't be the handler in case he turns it over. Right. Like, shot clock violation is fine, but like, you know how guys are like so laissez-faire at the end of game. Like, if they roll the ball to the other team or they pass it, they'll give like an individual turnover instead of a team turnover in those spots. So I was like, oh my God, please just don't give it to him. Like, I'm up by like 0.6. Anyways, they drop an inbound play where it's designed to go to him, and then he drives the rack and goes right up to the rack and scores.
Yeah.
And then gets like two actual, and then
Yep.
it was like, okay, we're clean sailing.
Breathe.
But yeah, it was very agonizing for the last like 3 minutes where I was like, oh, this is like over, right? Yeah. Best Ball Viper bringing up. Yeah, I talked about the Aaron Gordon pulled hamstring. The thing is, I also had the highest scoring Aaron Gordon team behind too. So like I had basically the same team, but with Aaron Gordon too. So like. Yeah, so I was in like a really good position. Like I said it in the Discord that after the early games, like I was in like 50th, 60th, 80th, and 110th or something like that. And of those teams, I had like 3 lives as well. So it was like
you were just like
I was in a good spot. But it was all hat tip to Sabonis there. But I love that this team has so much bid equity because the Sabonis stuff, like I've always been a Sabonis advocate. Plus, the Sabonis traded for Hallie, never Hallie narrative. Plus the original bit of if you've been around long enough, is tonight's IQ actually IQ or not? So we got the IQ bit in there. Then we get the Fat Zion narrative in there. Then we get the JB, we only play him before the high holidays narrative when he starts fasting. So the fasting hasn't happened yet, so we're allowed to play JB. And then the Evan Mobley, we never know which Cav to pick. Like never know which of the 3 or 4 to pick narrative. And then Michael Porter Jr. is just Nez's guy. So it was just like a full bid equity team.
That is a hell of a way to make every single one of these guys a bit. That was well done. Well done.
All right, let's move on. Had to share the sweat the stories because I was in fact sweating that evening. Pour one out for my guy, Adam, right here, man. I feel bad for him, like just, being so close and holding that seat for so long and then losing it. Tons of friends and family back up here at the top, which is great to see. Some of these people are going to get in there. And one last thing I want to mention here, Nez, is they've informed me Mr. Goodboy can't come with me to the event. Mr. Goodboy cannot be my +1. So, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but I'm just going to throw out a feeler here. I'm just going to throw out a feeler that maybe there is potential for someone who has not cashed a ticket yet. Maybe there's some potential here, but I'm not going to say anything. anything. I'm going to talk to the powers that be. We're going to figure something out here. But yes, the roommate doesn't want to come. I can't bring Mr. Goodboy, so maybe something can happen here with the community. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not. Don't hold me to it, but I'm just saying.
All right. Okay. I'll be waiting to see what you do with this, but
yeah, maybe we'll see here. But just keep trying. Just keep trying to qualify because I think trying to qualify might have something to do with it. Let's say that there. Okay.
All right.
Shout out to ADD, aka 85 there, my French Canadian Montreal friend.
Yes.
Dropping off 10 Badge Bros memberships at the door. I look forward to hanging out with you in LA. We had a great time together in KC. He brought his lovely wife there, and they were a breath of fresh air, man. Just 2 fun people to hang out with. So look forward to it in LA. Congrats to you, my friend. There, 2 beautiful scrolls on your team there. Reminder for the week here, Nez. Dog Bowl is Wednesday, Friday for everybody. 28th and 30th there. Your boy will be trying to grab a second seat, so I will be in the streets there most doubtably. And then I want to share with everybody a couple new contests on the site here. Under the MLB tab, we got the Eliminator. The Eliminator is up here. A small, nice one. We were doing these side contests that are like, a little bit undersized just to get some variety in there and then keep not trying to detract too much attention away from the dinger. So nice to see a $50 eliminator up there, 1,100 entries. We kind of talked about that on Stacking Dingers of like what we would want to see next kind of thing. And this is like a merging of like a good price point coupled with good size, coupled with different format. So that's pretty cool. And then if you are truly sick, you are truly deranged, and for whatever reason, you want to draft for football games that are not going to take place for another 11 months, we got the big board, baby. We got the big board, the little board, and the war room. Shout out to Davis, who who went live as soon as they dropped and did a big stream on it, soaking up all that CLV on the late round ADPs here. Truly sick behavior that we're already drafting big boards here. But yes, for you sick, deranged individuals, here they are. Here they are. Oh my God, Treviel has already done 20 of them. I need help.
No way. There's just no way that you've done 20 big boards.
Mix in a dinger, bro. Mix in a dinger.
Like slow drafts or complete?
I don't know, man. That's wild.
You should automatically get flagged for that. That's incredible.
1-800-GAMBLER. Oh, just crazy shit, man. Nez, I think we have said it all here, man. I think we have talked about the Dog Bowl. We talked about the football stuff. I've thanked the community. We'll thank Adam again here. Congratulations to Adam, and thank you for the 10 Badge Bros memberships there. Before we jump into the slate, is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about your new hiring? You want to talk about the big board? Do you want to talk about anything?
McCarthy.
Yeah, you can talk about McCarthy. Tell me about McCarthy here.
I don't know, man. I'm indifferent. I mean, 2 things, maybe 3 things. Like, one, I think he'll be easy to fire. Like, it's Mike McCarthy. If you got to fire him, it's no big deal. You don't got to like wait it out. We don't have to like play this game like we do with the younger coaches where these guys are like here for like forever. It's Mike McCarthy. Man. You can cut bait with him pretty easily.
Sure. Yeah.
2, I mean, he is an offensive like minded coach. So that's kind of like a decent plus. Like, he's had some good seasons. I don't think he's like a bad coach necessarily. But I think like more importantly is I think it's a sign that that Art Rooney II is an absolute idiot and really shouldn't be trusted and is definitely like one of the biggest culprits to blame and like everything that has gone wrong with the Steelers for the last X number of years. Sure. So yeah, I don't think we should expect a changing of philosophy, play style, of confusing moves anytime soon. Yeah, it's just not. I mean, it's a very strange thing happening.
Yeah, I like 2 things you said there. The first one, from a selfish level, I think it's the funniest thing in the world that the first reaction to hiring a coach is at least he's going to be easy to fire. So that's fucking hilarious. The second one is I will say nice things about Mike McCarthy's evolution on the offensive side because we buried him from fantasy circles the Zeke year with the Cowboys there, where it was just like trying to establish it. It was archaic offense, but he really evolved and like grew over the next like year and a bit for like some tempo and some pass heavy stuff for Dak. So who knows? I don't know. And do you think this keeps Aaron Rodgers around, like the connection between the two of them?
I can understand the parallels, but I still don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
I can see the parallels. Obviously, it's McCarthy, but I don't think so.
Okay, sounds good.
If it is like, then it really just kind of hits home the point that like the Steelers are just inept and riding on their own coattails.
Mm-hmm. Couple things in the chat here. Jets is asking, was big board or little board 50 max last year? I can't recall. I don't think it was. I thought it was 20.
I can't remember. I know that they dropped a second little board and it was 50 max and it also overlaid like immensely.
Okay.
So I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Dirtbike Davis is rolling through. He's doing the slow eliminator draft. So if you guys want to hop in there, do some slow eliminators with him. And yeah, that sounds about right. There we go. It was 50 max. Okay. Thank you. So it was 50 max. Both little boards were 50 max last year. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay, Nez, let's move on and talk a little hoops here. Evergreen question for you. How many have you done? How you feeling about the dynamics of the slate? I'll walk through the intricacies, but yeah, how you feeling on a personal level right now? How many we got done?
50 main slates done.
Sure.
It's kind of difficult to like get a ton of variety on today's slate because it's only 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, feel like I'm drafting a lot of the same guys over and over. Some decent scroll options though. I do like the scroll options today, but overall, there's it's like a modest scoring slate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Luka slate. Yeah, it's not like any. I feel decent about what I've done, but yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a weird setup with 5 games. There's just like not a whole lot of wiggle room
Mm-hmm.
leading up to the 6th round.
Yeah, it's a Luka in a smash spot small slate, like it's like one of these weird this is a big time Luka slate. But yeah, we can mess around with some stuff. As you were saying, it's only 5 now. It was originally going to be 7, but we had some postponements over the weekend there. Minnesota versus Golden State was postponed on Saturday, and then like they played on Sunday, which makes today a back-to-back rematch for them. They were supposed to play a back-to-back, but it was supposed to be, or I think they were originally scheduled to play Saturday, Monday. They weren't going to play Sunday. And then now it's turned into Sunday, Monday, I believe. I think that's what I think that's what it was supposed to be, because they were playing in Minnesota the back-to-back no matter what. And it might have been Sunday afternoon that was nationally televised. So I might have that wrong, but either way, they were supposed to play, 2 and 3 nights over these 3 nights. So not too crazy to just move it a day kind of thing. And then we had the Dallas-Milwaukee one that kind of muddied up the slate there yesterday. I did not play yesterday's slate, but I know, people weren't thrilled about that. So some weird weather stuff going down right now in the States for both travel and whatever. We'll keep our eye on it over the next week, but hopefully we don't get any more of that sort of stuff. But it has led to a 5-gamer today, but 3 of them are nationally televised in parentheses. They are Peacock games this evening. We have 3 of the 5 games on Peacock, one of which is that late night hammer that is Golden State at Minnesota. So there's one lock time for the first game, the Cavs and Orlando game. Then there's 3 games locking at 8 p.m. Eastern, aka 5 p.m. in God's sport watching time. And then there's an hour and a half break for the late night hammer for that Golden State Minnesota. So when we just got dumped a bunch of Q tags, those swaps might only have 1 game to swap to. Like if you were playing Draymond in the last round, if you're playing Steph in the middle round, like that sort of thing. So we'll talk through, what that does to the slate and how those dynamics can be impacted. But on only a 5-game slate, it does make it a little bit sketchier to draft a dude like Steph if there's not like a clear 1-for-1 replacement, because they're still going to run, like 10, 11 deep, even if Steph's not there this evening, that sort of thing. But just wanted to put that on people's radars. Anything else to just say on that, Nez?
No, always good to hit on swap windows, because that definitely kind of impacts the risk tolerance on that stuff. I think Steph's going to play. It kind of seems like he's going to play. So I'm taking him. But yeah, if he does not play, essentially you're shit out of luck if that news comes after the middle 3 tip.
Yeah, and just to layer on to that, they beat the shit out of the T-Wolves yesterday, and they put it on them early. And like Steph only played like 30. We'll look at it when we go through game by game. But I was looking at the rotations this morning. They beat them like 111-85, and Steph only played 27 minutes last night. So I think only one player yesterday was over. No, Steph was the highest with 27. It was the 30s were on the Minnesota side, not on their side. So that's just, food for thought for everybody there. Okay. I hit on the nationally televised back-to-backs. Yeah. So those 2 are the only back-to-backs for, they are the only back-end back-to-backs there, and they're playing each other yet again. And then front-end back-to-backs is Portland. And that comes into play with the question in the chat here, that is Denny playing? And they have a Denny revenge game tomorrow at Washington there. And we talked about Denny's back on Friday for the Dog Bowl slate there, how it's a re-aggravation, how the coach said he was going to play. Then he said he was going to listen to the medical staff. And now we're going to decide if he's ready to go this evening and if he's ready to go like full or not there. So yeah, we'll have that conversation. Do you have like a short snippet answer of how you're treating it right now, Nez?
Yeah, I'm treating them as though he's playing.
Okay, cool. Respect it and like it. And I was doing the same. Had him ranked at about, I think I was 11 or 12 when I did my first 10 there. So
yeah,
I was in on that. This is pretty good here. AMAC wished me congratulations there the other night. And I said, I got the Sacramento Kings beam on me is what I said to him.
That's awesome. we gotta get AMAC back. We gotta get AMAC to the Dawg. I mean, I know that's 4 hours of a time zone difference, but we got to get him to LA.
We got to get him to LA, man. We got to thaw him out a little bit. We got to get him in some of that sunshine, get him on the yacht. Yeah. All right, Nez, before we go game by game, is there anything else macro you want to say on, the Steph, the Denny, anything else to the dynamic of the slate?
No, I mean, let's just get into it. We can hit it as it comes.
All right. Sounds great to me. All right, first game up, Magic and Cavs there. 6 by way of the Cavs in this one, a 226 total in this one. This is one of the prime video games of the night. I'm going to refresh and get the most recent injury report, but there has been no filings and or changes on this game in particular here, but just to make sure. Orlando, they got Jalen Suggs back yesterday or the day before yesterday?
The day before.
Day before, yeah, because they're not on the back-to-back. They got him back on Saturday there. He played 24 minutes in his first time back, really encouraging there. But they lost Franz Wagner over the weekend there. But Mo Wagner is back since Germany there. So he is back. So we traded one Wagner brother for the other one. And then Suggs is back as well there. And then on the Cavs side, they're still without Darius Garland and Max Strus. And we got Q tags on Sam Morrell and DeAndre Hunter. Those will directly impact the way in which Joe Tyson's been playing recently. He's viable in the 6th round right now. He's had some very strong minutes. He's been playing in those like 33s, 34s, and that sort of deal. So now bringing in some wing depth, Sam Morrell can start, Sam Morrell can shoot. We will see what happens there. So overarching on this one, Nez, and we can go team by team, starting with the Magic.
Yeah, I mean, these are just like two teams that I don't really enjoy. And they're facing off against one another. And it was kind of a mid-off the last time they played. Spida did his thing, of course. But, nobody like Mobley, disappointed. Jared Allen, disappointed. Jalen Tyson, disappointed. Paolo, you go down the line. Anthony Black was like the highest scoring player for Orlando there. And it looked like Wendell Carter was going to nuke for a second, too. I was like, what the fuck, man? So the one thing that I am a little salty about was like, I took a bit of a risk with the 6-round Suggs stance, but I had a lot of 6-round Suggs on that slate.
Yeah.
And, for 24 minutes of Suggs, as somebody who's generally over a fantasy point per minute, I felt like, I ran good on the minutes, didn't hit, didn't perform quite as well as I needed him to, like I was saying, but that's probably to be expected after a lengthy absence.
Sure. Yeah.
I think he's draftable though today. Like, I think you're going to get 20, 25, 26 minutes again.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely like that on today's slate.
Yeah, I mean, it's not overly different than taking like Drew Holiday in the last round. If I wanted to make a comp where they're kind of like both soft capped, I'd actually say that Suggs probably has a higher minute ceiling than Drew Holiday in the last round there. And people are taking Drew Holiday, and I'm not really seeing anyone take Suggs. So yeah, if people are going to jam Anthony Black at ADP and just kind of like, chase that 35 minutes or whatever, I'm fine to be the guy who pivots and takes a little bit of Suggs that's under-owned in the last round there. Yeah,
I do like Drew a lot. Okay. But Suggs, very, very similar bet.
Yeah. Taking a look at the old time machine here. Obviously, he played off the bench last time out. Was that true?
Suggs?
Yeah.
He started.
Nice. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find this game. Who did they play? It was on the 20.
On the 24th?
Yeah, why can't I just like find this?
I'm not sure.
The 20. Look at this. The 24th just is just not here. 23rd, 25th.
It doesn't exist.
The 24th doesn't exist. I was like, why can't I find this game?
It's gone, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Bizarre, man. Erased from the record books, according to Add More Funds. Holy smokes. All right. Well, I can't see the rotation there. That's bizarre. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, good to know that he started. Good that I didn't know that he played 24. Thoughts on Paulo at ADP tonight? We've basically seen middling scores in recent memory. He deals with some tough length in the paint here, and is traditionally speaking like a pretty good attack the rim like paint guy. And now he has to deal with like Mobley, Allen, and then maybe some like Tyson on ball, like that sort of thing. Thoughts on the Paulo spot, thoughts on Desmond Bane, Anthony Black, etc.
Yeah, like Paulo doesn't really care about matchups. He's just gonna be the most frustrating dude in fantasy, like no matter what. You just never know when he's going to be a have to have it guy. Normally, like I think up until like 10 days ago, the Cavs were like actually a good spot to attack. They just like weren't playing well. They're playing a lot better right now. And I'm not entirely sure that this is like a spot to attack for Paulo. That said, I have a lot of them. Just because I don't know, I guess I'm rolling a lot of that spot in the draft or something. I'm not entirely sure. But I got a lot of Paulo, and it makes me nervous. It makes me very nervous. But
you like him better than the Houston guys?
I have him ranked that way.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure I believe it, but that's how I have it. Maybe I'll throw a little Şengün. I already have a lot of Şengün too, I think. But it's just like I can't tell you what night's Paulo night because it's just like impossible to know. But I would mostly agree with you that like Paulo against the Cavs, it feels not good for a Paulo ceiling game. I will back you on that. Like I don't love the Magic today, just straight up, but I have a lot of them. Because like PRA wise, they rank out pretty nicely, and also from ETR, they also project pretty nicely. So just like from a value standpoint, they're good values in the draft. So I just end up taking them.
Okay. Fair enough, dude. Yeah, I respect it.
I don't love it.
The Paulo stuff is like it's such a muddied tier. Like I think there's a big one with Luka. Let's be straight here. There's a big one with Luka. Then there's like a 3-man tier here, and we don't have the injury report on the Edwards stuff yet. So who knows? I assume he plays on the back-to-back. He didn't play like huge yesterday, but there's a little bit of fogginess there. So there's like this tier of 3. And then after that, like this Paulo through like Steph is just like one big flat tier to me. And I was taking the Rockets guys ahead of them just for like the Memphis matchup, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like how I was treating it. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, man, I wish I had like a straight answer on.
Sure. No.
Like
there's probably no right answer at this point in time.
I know. He's probably gonna fail, but when he doesn't, he's putting up like 50s. So that's pretty nice.
Thoughts on Desmond Bane and Anthony Black at ADP? Are they just kind of like fine?
I think they're fine. Yeah.
Do you have a preference between
Suggs?
the two?
I think probably Black cost adjusted.
Okay, sure.
But I think Bane just like looks better, from every angle. But these guys do kind of lose a lot of their, their appeal with Suggs coming back.
Yeah.
But they're still decent plays. But yeah, like I said, Suggs coming back kind of like, takes the air out of their ceiling for sure.
Yeah, I think it impacts the fragility of Anthony Black more than Bane would be my bro science inclination on the Suggs stuff. Now, I don't think it's particularly a good spot for Black or for Suggs this evening, but like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, that kind of takes the air out of the sails of like Anthony Black more so than more so than Bane, rather.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Like I said, like the Cavs just like they're playing a lot better right now, man. So I think if you want to like play the recency angle, like you probably fade the Magic, but like
Okay.
I'm taking them right now. I'm just ending up with them.
Okay. Any reason to like Wendell Carter Jr.? Mo Wagner's still like soft capped here. I don't think he can like he's a go get it guy, and he's like a I'm gonna smash when I'm out there kind of guy. But I don't think he's gonna play more than like 15. Yeah. Anybody else down here? You know, Penda played a lot of minutes. What was it? The Pels game there. He played 37 and started, but I doubt we see anything like that tonight. Yeah, anybody else that piques your interest?
No, I'm not scrolling to any of these guys.
Okay. Is Wendell Carter Jr. fine in the last round or not even that?
Yeah, he's fine, but like I just like I don't draft him.
Okay. As we were going to talk about Cleveland here, we just got Sam Morrell ruled out, so that really, for my money, that really helps the solidify Jalen Tyson's minutes here. Like I'm not nearly as scared that like somebody can play him off the floor. And now, you know, I feel quite comfortable with these mid 30s that he's been getting, like 30 to mid 30. So he's an entirely viable last round pick now for us there. But anybody else you want to just deep dive here on like Donovan, Mobley, Allen kind of vibe?
I think Tyson you can still scroll to, like you said, with the Merrill
You just
injury.
Silva'd the shit out of this, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
You Silva'd the shit out of it, bro. I just talked about how Tyson got way more safe with Morrell being ruled out, and he's.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him in the ranks. That's why I was like, throw him in. No, yeah. Throw him in the ranks. Yeah. So I have Spida 3 today.
Okay.
Without it's just the Sands Garland stuff, you know, like just no guard. Like I have Luka, JB, Spida right now.
Okay.
Just without Garland, man. Spida without Garland is just a jam right now. So I'm playing that angle. Mobley, dude.
It's also a good thing that Suggs' on-ball defense will be capped because Suggs is definitely the toughest on-ball assignment that they have there. If he gets more of Anthony Black because Anthony Black's playing like the large side of the minutes, that's better for Donovan Mitchell in my estimation.
Yeah. It's a lot better for sure. Mobley, like, dude, I can't stand Evan Mobley. Like, I loved him in that Sacramento spot because that was like a dream spot, you know. Sure. But like, otherwise, dude, I think Mobley is just like the worst. So I don't want to draft a lot of Evan Mobley. I might not. Like, it's probably an Evan Mobley smash game because of that. Anytime that you like actively tell yourself you don't want to draft him, he goes off. Yeah, I do not think that Evan Mobley is a have to draft guy today. So yeah, I just don't think I'm going to do it for the rest of the day. Just don't think I'm going to draft Evan Mobley. Don't want to. Don't have to.
What did he do? What did he do against the Magic on that 24th? Let me see what he did in that matchup versus because presumably he's going to get Paulo, right?
For his assignment.
Yeah, like he's gonna. I think they'll probably play Paulo both ways versus Mobley, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what I would read the ETR stuff and I'd read the Unabated Discord before I trusted myself on that. But like that's kind of like in the back of my mind. I'm just curious what he did.
I just don't think it matters. It's just like Evan Mobley is just like these box scores are just like fine. They're just like whatever. Like he has stock ceiling, right? I mean, 3 in these last 5. He's got 4, 4, and 5. That helps. That helps a lot. But like, there's just not a lot of point scoring ceiling here, and like I don't see the Magic as like a spot where like he's also gonna like fill it up. You know,
right?
I think I just don't want to do it. Yeah, so I'm not gonna
play through Spida spot. Okay.
Like the Rockets guys, I think have a much higher ceiling.
Okay. Sure.
Like LeBron against the Bulls, much higher ceiling.
Agreed.
So I'm just not going to draft them. Like these are just 2 teams that I just like do not like. when they're on the slates, especially when they face each other. When they face each other, it's just like this is just the worst.
Okay.
Like you have Jared Allen like sitting at ADP 22 because it's a 5-game slate. You draft him, but like I get, you know what I mean? Like I guess like, I just don't. I hate this game. I genuinely do not like this spot for anybody.
All right, cool. So you don't like anybody else like off the bench or whatever? Like Lonzo finally found some minutes and found some rebounds the other night, but I don't know, maybe he's out of the doghouse. We talk about Craig Porter Jr. when like if Hunter can't go and Morrell can't go, does that open something up for him? Like any love for anything off the bench other than Tyson, as a 6th rounder?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Let's move on here back to the beautiful unabated interface here. Blazers and Celtics up next. 7.5 by way of the Celtics, a 225.5 here. Gonna get the most recent injury reports just to make sure. And come on. All right, there we go. Denny Avdia still has the Q tag. It's the lower back. We talked about that at the top of the show. Time Lord, aka Robert Williams III, has the Q tag as well. Still no Scoot Henderson, no Dame Lillard, no Chris Murray, no Duop Reith, no Matisse Thybulle, no Blake Wesley. So all kind of like fringe impacting rotation guys and a bunch of guys who have been out all season long. And then on the Celtics side, the big man rotation with some illnesses here. Luka Garza and Keita, both with Q tags right here. Obviously no Jason Tatum. He's out. And then Josh Minott, who's been missing for a while. Left ankle is questionable here. I got to make sure that Josh Minott did not come back over the weekend. No. So this is still the same left ankle, but progress in the fact that now he's listed as questionable. Let's start with the Blazers side first there, Nez. A lot of the push-pull dynamic is going to hinge on Denny Avdia. We talked about it on Friday's slate there that, Shaedon Sharpe gets absolutely steam jobbed. And, Shaedon, the bottom can still fall out. Good Canadian kid who can jump out the gym. But we talked about it like he was going to get the full steam job in that Dawg Bowl. He was going to get pushed up to 18, 19, whatever. And then he still, on the second night of a back-to-back, only plays 32 and gives you 35 fantasy points. So, yes, does he have 50s and 60s in his bag, especially if Denny gets ruled out and the usage is there? Absolutely. But there are still other guys to cannibalize handling now that Drew Holiday's back, now that Caleb Love plays a decent amount, like that sort of thing. And he can play himself off the floor with just bad basketball, like bad real-life basketball. He can play himself off the floor at times. So what are you doing with the dynamic of Denny and Shaedon tonight?
I'm taking a lot of Denny. I'm like I said, I'm playing Denny as though he's in. So taking a lot of Denny.
Sounds good. Yeah. And then what does that do for Shaedon in your ranks? Because it's only a 5-gamer. He could still get home with Denny there, but he's pushed up pretty high today.
Yeah, he's definitely like being drafted as though Denny is not playing, and he still has good games with Denny in. But I'm not like stoked to draft Shaedon Sharpe. I have him behind Klingon, so that's how I've been playing it for now. I prefer Shaedon without Denny. The spot against Boston is like okay, not fantastic. Mm-hmm. And because I'm playing Denny in, I'm just like not really taking a bunch of or any of Shaedon really.
Okay.
But he's a good play. He's a fine play. I'm like at the field on Shaedon actually. I have more than I thought.
Okay. All right, cool with it. Anybody else that you want to talk about here? Like we've seen Drew get up to 22s and actually starting again. Grant played through the Q tag last time out, but still only played 26. Caleb Love, they closed small at the expense of Klingon on Friday night. I watched a lot of this ball game because I was sweating, so I'm kind of very familiar with what's taking place. Is Klingon a good matchup against some of these drop bigs for Boston? Because Sandro kind of played Klingon off the floor to close in that game where they forced them to go small because, Klingon was low-key getting cooked. And then just they were cooking in high side screen and roll on Klingon, and they basically pivoted to taking Klingon off the floor for the last 4 minutes there. He came back for a short stint on like some rebounding opportunities on free throws and then left again and like that sort of thing. But like, is this an okay Klingon spot? Because he's got a really high ADP too.
Yeah, I think like the minutes are fragile, but like he's gonna do so much damage when he's out there. Like,
Yeah.
I would be surprised if he's not. Like, he's got like an 11.5 rebounds in the pick'em lobby right now. 25.5 PRA. Like, I think he can do enough in those short amount of minutes and on a 5-game slate where like I am like I'm totally fine playing Klingon. Like I like Klingon a lot today.
Mhm.
Like I think these minutes are fragile, but like what you get in those minutes, I think is going to be really solid production like today specifically.
Okay. So you think it's a good Klingon spot then?
I do. I'm not really too worried. Like I saw the projection. I just disagreed.
The projection is that he is like the projection is implying that it's a bad matchup for him and he's not projected well.
Yeah, they've got him like really, really low.
Interesting. Okay.
Like massive.
Maybe that means they think Kato's not going to play then. Do they have Kato projected in?
They do.
Because like I think
Kato projected over Klingon.
Kato over Klingon?
Correct.
Interesting. I know Kata's been good this year, but like this feels like a good spot for Klingon against Kata. That like you'd have to use Klingon more. Kata's a drop guy. You could play down low through Klingon. I don't know. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna do a little more research on this one as the day goes on because this is a pretty pivotal like ADP decision point. Because if you trust the quote unquote model there, you'd be full fading.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's some Time Lord revenge game cutting in stuff.
They have Time Lord in.
Yeah.
So probably it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Time Lord doesn't have a Q tag, right? Oh no, he does have a Q tag. My bad. Okay. Yeah. I just said that. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So maybe there's some push pull there with like, we're playing 18 minutes of Time Lord in right now, which cuts Klingon back to like, those 25s, 24s, 26s, which takes away the 30 ceiling. And then if you get no Kata on the other side as well, that kind of goes, oh, well, we can do exactly how we closed against the Raptors without Klingon on the floor. Like, like they could play like, that City, Drew, Love, City, Denny, Shaden like lineup or something.
Yeah, I think it's like probably also factored in for them in terms of his minutes, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna play it. I can fully understand not wanting to get to Klingon, but I look at this team and I think he's gonna play. Like I just think they're gonna just have to make it work.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I'm just looking through some of these usage splits and some of this stuff from Friday night there, and it's hard because Denny wasn't there, right? So you get like these stints from like first unit Klingon with Shaden where he's got like a 28.6 usage. Like that's what the first half looked like. The first half looked like super strong for him. And then they kind of play him out of favor late there.
Yeah, that shouldn't be like a huge surprise.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Okay. Anybody else that we can get to in the last round? Like you said, you liked Drew. Any like reason to think it'll uptick a little bit? Getting to 22 and starting now. Like we saw some monster ceiling games from Drew Holiday in the first month of the season. Tamani's minutes are always so strong, but what he does with them is debatable. But he's kind of like a floor play in the last round. Jeremy Grant could tick up after now he's been back playing like full. Maybe he's more of like a swap guy if Denny doesn't go. Any thoughts on the back end here?
I like Drew just because he just played a back-to-back and played 22 minutes. I'm not expecting 30 or anything, but I think, maybe a slight uptick could be beneficial. And he does a lot in a small amount of time. He's been a fantasy, point per minute monster since he's been on this team. So I like it. In the 6th round, I think it's kind of a fun little shot at some mystery ceiling here. If we get more minutes than we expect, like what can this do for Drew?
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot as a scroll.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I respect that a lot there. Time Lord revenge game.
I mean, it is a revenge game.
I'm
not drafting any Time Lord, dude.
Okay, yeah. Evan saying in the chat, I bet if he's ruled out, like in reference to Time Lord, that Klingon spikes. Yes, I agree with you. Absolutely. I don't think Time Lord gets ruled out today. It's a left knee injury management tag, which is, what they've used on him on the back-to-backs. It's a carryover tag from missing the second night of a back-to-back. I think this is like a classic Time Lords in spot, and it's also a spot where they want to give him like, yo, man, this is Boston. Go get your 18 minutes and go make it hurt kind of thing. So I think this game matters for Drew, and it matters for Time Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what Time Lord does. He gets his sub 20 and does damage.
Yeah, I think this anecdotally is a spot that matters to both of them. All right, dude, let's go. Highest total on the slate here. This is Lakers and Bulls. This is why we love Luka at 1 today. Luka is the spend up on the redacted side. 235.5. It's gonna be hard to compete with the Luka projection today. I imagine it's gonna be like 10 points higher than whomever is second ranked there. But 1.5 to the Lakers here on the road against the Bulls. Let me just clarify 1 second here. Portland was the only team on the front end back-to-back. Bulls and Lakers don't play until Wednesday? ? I think. Bulls play Wednesday, Lakers play Wednesday. Okay, yes, that's what I saw. So they both have a night off after this. We'll talk about the Bulls stuff. They already ruled out Trey Jones, which matters for second unit handling there. He's had some really nice games, most notably the one against Amin Thompson, where he cooked him in 27 minutes there. But on the Bulls side of things here, no Trey Jones, as I mentioned, no G Leaguers there, and then no Zach Collins. And then on the Lakers side, there was a Q tag on Jake LaRavia. It is now shifted to an available tag there, and Austin Reeves is still missing. Let's start with the Lakers here because I think it's way easier to talk through, and there's not a whole lot to say there, Nez. But on the Lakers side, outside of Luka, what else are we doing here?
Well, I'm going to say we should draft LeBron James. I think he's fine to draft. ETR loves him, so you got to bump up his ADP a little bit if you want shares of LeBron, which it makes sense. I think he's already underpriced as is against Chicago, so good spot for old Bron. And then after that, man, I'm taking DeAndre Ayton. Bigs against Vooch has been a play all season long. Ayton has ceiling. Ayton very much underdrafted. Ayton ranked 39 via projection. ADP hasn't moved. He's available in the 6th round every single draft that I've done. I think he's a great play tonight, and I love that nobody's taking him.
Yeah, I'm kind of in lockstep with you when people buy into the most recent box scores and they see that he hasn't been playing well and people forget about him. These are the nights I want to play Ayton. It's kind of like the Miles Turner thesis there. I do think it's a good spot if they start with Giddey in the opening lineup. And by that, I mean, I hope Giddey doesn't play off the bench again, and I hope you get like the Kobe White, Giddey, Buzelis, Okoro or Herter, and then Vooch. Because I don't like Ayton as much if they go double big and they go Jalen Smith and Vooch this evening. So like that would be kind of like my push-pull. We're probably not going to get the lineup. We're probably not going to get that information. If they do the double big lineup, I think it's a little bit worse for Ayton, but it can still obviously get home, right? Like it can still obviously work versus Vooch. So yeah, I like it in the last round. Totally viable there. I think the only other kind of like quote unquote draftable would be Jake LaRavia, and I think it just lacks ceiling if you still have, all the bodies in kind of thing. Anything else to say there?
No, I think you summarized it pretty well. I'm down for Ayton really no matter what the lineup is, but I think it's still a pretty good point. Nobody else for me on the Lakers here.
Yeah, if someone scrolled to Smart or scrolled to Laravia, like I wouldn't kill him for it, but like it's just not really necessary in my estimation on this slate. I think you can find ceiling in better spots, but the Smart minutes have been nice to see, like up to these 32s and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Smart would be my preference between the two.
Yeah, he can ice a couple threes too, and yeah,
a few stocks in there.
Let's talk about the Chicago stuff here. We got Vooch as the highest ranked there, but him and Giddey are kind of like neck and neck. We've seen only 24 minutes, I believe, 26 and 23 from Giddey there thus far. Any reason to think it will uptick this evening and we should be taking him ahead of Vooch, Nez?
Let's see here. I mean, I don't think it's bad. Especially because Big sort of struggled against the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, the Lakers are big in general.
Yeah, man. I think it's probably the way to play it. I have Giddey over Vooch right now.
I think if you give Vooch full minutes and you give Giddey restricted minutes, that they project basically the same. So why not take the upside of Giddey playing more minutes, right?
Right. Like if that's the if that's the case, then absolutely. Like Giddey could just be underdrafted in general.
Right.
Like tonight, given like depending on what your assumptions are, just like like Giddey or Triple J tonight. What do you think?
That's tough. I think I like Giddey, but like the Triple J matchup's just so tough, man. I think I like Giddey. Even if Giddey only plays like 26 or 27, I think I like Giddey. But like, yeah, Eggers is saying in the chat, it is a little bit of like the play it before you see it. Because if we wake up and we get, Giddey's in the starting lineup and give it Giddey's cap, because they've been known, like Chicago in general is like known for giving the pre-cap information there. Like we get those little nuggets on Kobe White all the time, right? Like up to 28 to 30, like that sort of thing. Like if he gets the Kobe White like 28 to 30 tonight, like Giddey should be going at like the same pick as Julius Randle.
Yeah, like he should go ahead of Randle.
He should go ahead of him. Yeah. So I think buying Giddey right now just feels smart.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like even like he can do some damage as is. Like it's such a strong tier. Like after Randle, Denny, that like after that like 2-3 turn, like Giddey like needs a couple things to go his way, but just so obviously like the next best pick.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, he does need a couple things to break his way. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And even if he doesn't, he could still do enough. It really falls off a cliff after that.
Yeah. We got Kobe White and Montes Buzelis up next there. Buzelis had a sick dunk. This is what PPR Tyler's talking about in the chat. He witnessed Buzelis do unspeakable things to the Wolves there. That was sick little dribble drive dunk there that he threw down. It was thing of beauty there. Just reminds you of the ceiling of Montas when things break right. He's had some nice box scores in recent memory there, but I think there is a little bit of push-pull with like the Giddey impact on him. And then Kobe White here with no Trey Jones. The minutes have gone up over 30 here. People talking about Kobe White as a trade candidate too. So, might be playing his way out of town here if he can keep filling it up. Just thoughts on these two and their respective price tags.
I think that they're pretty good picks right now. Okay. I have a lot of Kobe White and Montas.
Okay.
And I just think on a 5-game slate where these guys go, I think that they're just like, to me, some of the better picks on the board. Like I got a ton of both these guys. I'm trying not to like be super like, to me the Timberwolves have this aura of being like a strong defensive team.
Sure.
And they're not a bad defensive team, but like they're also like not they don't punish teams in fantasy either. Like you can have good fantasy games against these T-Wolves, and
Good
Bulls
point.
are playing well. I'm taking a lot of Kobe and Matas, man, and just put on a brave face.
Cool. Yeah, I like it, man. I like the Kobe shirt for sure. Like I'm here for the Kobe stuff.
Yeah, ADP 22, not so bad, man. Not so bad at all.
I'm looking back here because I just want to see. I have like this like third eye like thought right now. Like, who is the second unit handling for the Bulls today if Giddey draws back into the starting lineup with no Trey Jones?
Io?
Yeah, some IO stuff. There'll definitely be overlap. I don't know, man. This might be good for Kobe and good for Giddey if Giddey still plays off the bench. You know what I mean? So like I wouldn't be like I wouldn't be like crazy scared to pair them together because their ADPs line up. Because like what if you just get like Kobe lead handling with the first unit? We know how his usage and his ability to shoot really spikes. Not ability to shoot, but his likelihood to shoot spikes when Giddey's not on the floor. And then Giddey comes off the bench, runs the second unit, and now he's just like full usage guy too. Like I'm thinking about this. You know, maybe it's good if one plays off the bench kind of vibe.
Yeah, have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Okay.
That would work well for me. I've got a lot of Kobe, more Kobe than I have Giddey right now. So
okay. Any love for Sticks, aka Jalen Smith, the goggles man, in the last round here?
He's been playing. He's had a really nice season, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't really want too much of him today at ADP 33. Like nah, but
Okay.
Shout out Jalen Smith though. Minutes have been strong. Production's been good. Like I respect what he's up to, but probably not here. I think Giddey ramp up definitely kind of hurts him, I'd imagine. And you know, he's not really into bigs against the Lakers all that much, so I'm not gonna have like any Jalen Smith.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind mixing in a share or two in the last round there if he starts, but we're not going to have that information. So I'm just kind of like covering my bases because if they start and they start the double big, it makes me like him. Like the 1v1 of like him versus Ayton is like pretty close if they start double big. But then if they don't start double big, I don't really want anything to do with Jalen, and Giddey starts, then I want all the Giddey. So there is a little bit of like we have to make the decision here on like who's starting and who's not kind of vibe. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think I would lean Ayton over Jalen right now, but I could see it either way.
I like Ayton more than Jalen.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's push forward here, dude. Two more games here. Rockets and Memphis here. Largest spread of the night is 10.5 by way of the Rockets here. The Grizz with a 226.5. The Grizzlies are still without Ja Morant now. Ja Morant came back. He hooped it up for a couple days as he's prone to do, and then he leaves again, and we're without him in our lives. But we just got an injury report for these guys here, and Santi Aldama, who has missed a couple games now, is questionable with right knee injury management. We have an out tag on all of their front court, as per usual here, with Brandon Clark, Zach Edey, and Jacques Landell. And then you have an out tag on all of their handling with Ty Jerome, Ja Morant, and Scottie Pippen Jr. there. So this team could be thin this evening, dude. We'll talk through kind of like some of the dynamics. It's not the greatest spot in the world going against the long, good defense of the Rockets. This could just like, be a suffocating matchup for them, and maybe nobody winds up mattering kind of thing. And this one plays much lower than the total there. Or we could find some value here. On the Rocket side of things, we basically have Steven Adams out here. We got JD Davison, who is a G Leaguer now. On the two-way out there. He came back and made some big-time minutes there. And we got a probable tag on Aaron Holiday, who might impact Reed Sheppard. Reed Sheppard's been playing some good basketball as of recently there. But the Rockets we primarily want to focus on to start here are the big three at the top here, and they're going quite high because of this Memphis matchup there, and they are in amongst the Mobley, the LeBron, the Paulo tier there. So how are you treating the Rockets? Man, KD's been playing some monster minutes, like north of 40 and like 3 of his last 5 and stuff like this. Yeah, just thoughts on thoughts on the spot against Memphis here.
It's I mean, anytime you are match up against Memphis, you obviously really enjoy it if you're the opposing team. Been really friendly for fantasy. Quite a few draftable pieces here for the Rockets. The big 3 though, Amen, Şengün, and KD. I go Şengün over KD here. I know KD's had the last 2 he's got over Şengün, and he's playing mega minutes, but I'm pretty much always Şengün over KD. Yeah, dude, these KD minutes are just insane. I just don't know how this can sustain. And Amen, dude, Amen's been playing well too, but I got Amen third out of that bunch, and
Yep.
yeah, so they're all pretty much all like back to back for me, except like LeBron is in the middle of that trio, and may throw Paulo in the middle of there too, just to get him out of my life a little bit. Yeah, they're all 3 just really draftable, and like they sort of cannibalize one another. Like their ceilings are, definitely not like, like one pops, the other one won't pop, but like, I don't know, like you can totally draft 2 of these guys on the same team and be fine. I would probably much more prefer doing a pairing of Amen plus either Şengün or KD, as opposed to doing like Şengün and KD together.
Okay.
That seems to be like the way to play it. And then just to like finish up, go down the line, like Jabari's draftable. He plays a lot of minutes. I think he should have a great game against these Grizzlies.
Okay.
Tari's a fun scroll. Give me 25 minutes of Tari against Memphis, like high production in those few minutes should be good. And then, man, like Reed's been balling.
Yeah,
like the props aren't necessarily caught up, or maybe they are, and they're just like, they're just like fine.
Yeah.
Like I guess the props are fine, but like I think are clearly trying to get Reed up around this 25-minute mark, as opposed to being way more of a bench unit. They need Reed Shepherd. Like they absolutely need him to be a guy to have his confidence up, to drain threes. He's a huge part of the puzzle for them. So I think they're just going to continue to see a lot of Reed Shepherd. I think he's like a really fun scroll down, because you're looking at like 2% drafted Reed Shepherd tonight.
Sure, yeah.
And against this Memphis team, like you just really never know. He's a part of a hot unit. He gets to stay in. He gets to fill it up. Like Reed Shepherd could go nuts tonight, man. At home against Memphis, like, dude, this is kind of like a sneaky little spot for Reed. But like, you just got to believe. There's nothing that's going to tell you to draft Reed Shepherd tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. My first inclination when I was drafting this morning was to be like kind of in on both Tari and Reed as scrolls. I'm a little worried because they do random shit with Aaron Holiday all the time. I don't know. Like he hasn't played in like 2 weeks now. It's just been no minutes. Like I imagine if Aaron Holiday plays today, it's primarily just garbage, and it would be like, 4 to 8 minutes, but famous last words with that shit. I do think they would much rather have Reed in that role and ramp him up, but it does give me some pause that like all Reed's like quote unquote ceiling games and all his big minute games have been directly in tandem with Aaron Holiday being out, right? So I'm a little scared of what could potentially happen there, but I do like the Reed shout. I like the Tari. They kind of just managed on the back-to-back, but then you see that he played 28 on the front end there. I wouldn't pair Tari and Jabari together, but I think it's a really nice pivot if you play Tari in the last round instead of trying to be overweight Jabari in the front. But it is still a good matchup for Jabari. I like exactly what you said about the Amen, like pairing him with KD or pairing him with Şengün. I think my favorite combination is actually Şengün plus Amen together there. But yeah, that's where I'm at on it. You and I are seeing pretty eye to eye on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Do they start Josh Okogie tonight? I don't think it matters, but I'd just kind of be curious as to what that rotation looks like if they do start Okogie instead of starting Tari. But
probably, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Tari's still off the bench.
Okay. Yeah. So Tari and Reed kind of do like the shift change thing and come in together. So I wouldn't pair Tari with Jabari, like I said. And I wouldn't pair like Reed with Almond, I guess.
I suppose. I don't think that is like a huge no.
Okay. So Reed in the last round, Tari in the last round are fine, and then everybody else in and around ADP is good. Jabari Smith's matchup is nice too, and he just kind of like randomly finds ceiling every now and then. So there's reason to take him there, but I'm not like jumping up and down or pounding the table for like a ADP 26 Jabari. It kind of feels like, when people are all drafting Dylan Brooks, where it's just kind of like, if Dylan Brooks beats me tonight, Dylan Brooks beats me. Like that's kind of how I feel about Jabari. I think Jabari's ceiling is probably a little bit more fun than a Dylan Brooks, but yeah.
Hey man, Dylan Brooks was a smash yesterday.
Oh, was he? I didn't play yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, there was no Booker. So yeah, that was the greatest play of all time.
All right. Who won yesterday? Did you win yesterday?
No, I won like $200, which we'll take it. I know Magikarp took like second and third or something. He's on a heater.
Dude's on fire. Well done. Yeah, Dog Bowl seat, then won a slate, and then came second and third. Wow, nice. Oops, guy. All right, dude. Last game on the slate here. Warriors and T-Wolves. They're both on the back-to-back. They played each other yesterday. Warriors beat the shit out of the T-Wolves. T-Wolves still ran their guys a little bit longer than the Warriors did there. Warriors were playing like Steph was the high man of 27. They played like 11 guys, I think I saw. They played 11 guys, and then they played guys for garbage time thereafter. So Warriors ran good and deep. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 before just they played 11 before just garbage. And then they played, Spencer and Trace Jackson Davis, etc. in garbage for the 320. So they played 11 still before that, but we're going to have no Al Horford this evening, and I think we're going to have no DeAnthony Melton once I check this injury report. That's how I was treating it. But let's see. On the back-to-back, we have official filing from the Warriors. Obviously, no Jimmy Butler, no Seth Curry, no Al Horford, no Jonathan Kuminga, and no DeAnthony Melton. You have Q tags on Draymond Green, Steph Curry as well. LJ Cryer has a Q tag as well. Played 3 minutes of garbage time last night. I don't even know who that is. I got stumped on a guy. I don't know who it is.
I've heard of him, but I don't know anything about him.
Okay. And then on the T-Wolves side, just G-Leaguers listed out with the exception of Terrence Shannon Jr. And we have a Q tag on Leonard Miller, which doesn't really impact any of our decision-making. He played just garbage time for 5 minutes last night as well. So I'll bring up what we saw yesterday from it because we saw this very same matchup there. 111-85 in the Warriors' favor there. As you guys could see here, Ant, Dante, and Julius Randle played big minutes, 34s and 32s. So they played kind of like their normal run there. Jaden got cut a little bit. Nas played 25 off the bench. Thoughts on what we're going to see this evening here, Nez, as I pivot back to ADP. Let's probably start with the Warriors side.
Yeah, I mean, Warriors are obviously, like you just kind of very well laid out, deep and annoying. But as far as like what I'm drafting here, it's pretty simple. It's just Steph and, Pods. Pods, getting much more work now without Jimmy, doing pretty well with it too. So like Pods, 6th round draftable, late 5th. He's definitely a click that can be made. And that's it for me, man. Like, thankfully, like, I'm not doing any Draymond Green here. I suppose you could, but they play it deep, but thankfully none of those guys matter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's more or less like other teams. They, things open up. The Warriors, like, just things never open up, man. I'm happy to play Steph. I'm happy to play Steph at ADP. I'll play him slightly ahead of ADP if we got news. I think they're going to play him. I think there's good reason to play him. It's nationally televised. It's second night. Well, nationally televised. It's Prime Video or whatever, but it's an island game. It's second night of back-to-back in the exact same city. He only played 27 last night. They need to win basketball games, especially these ones from a standings perspective where they're like really tight, like these games matter for them. I think like their season's dead in the water without Jimmy, like in my estimation, but they're still 26 and 21. They're still in that play-in tournament. They're still only one back of the T-Wolves here. They could still make some trades and stuff. Like maybe they do. There's rumors of doing like the Anthony Davis trade and like one last kick at the can there, like give up Jimmy and his money and some picks or young bodies or Kuminga or something like that, and then get AD back for a final push here for that kick at the can for Steph in his later years here. But yeah, I don't know, but they want to hang around and be in contention as long as they can. And second night of a back-to-back in the same city, so no travel. And when he only played 27 the night before, I'm treating Steph as in this evening. And he's going to project thereabouts his ADP. I think it's a pretty decent Steph spot, and he kind of proved it yesterday where he goes, 26, 2, and 7 with 4 steals in only 27 minutes there. So I do like the Steph stuff. I don't think you can get to anybody else, man.
No.
Like, even without, like, Al Horford, like, none of the bigs look enticing. They could start Trace Jackson-Davis, who only played garbage last night. They could start Post. They could start they could start Guy Santos. They could do whatever the hell they want, and they're probably just going to run them all in tandem. Moses Moody could shoot some threes. That's the nicest thing I could say about him is like, yo, man, if he ices some threes in this game, maybe he's viable in the last round when he starts. But, there's a lot of push-pull in his rotation minutes too. But I do think he probably starts tonight. But, yeah, man, I don't know, man. Maybe Will Richard takes some of that. Maybe, I guess there's no Melton to take any of that. But maybe Buddy Hield, who's entered in the rotation again, takes a little bit and can do the shooting job for him. Peyton can do it. Like, it's so gross every night dealing with Kerr. So I'm in lockstep with you, these two, and then maybe just like one cheeky Moses Moody share in the last round in case he gets hot. Let's talk about the T-Wolves, man. Timberwolves on the other side here. Their injury report is official now, so no Q tag designations for some of their big minutes guys on the second half here, which is encouraging to see. Do you like Ant more than JB and Donovan Mitchell now, knowing that he's in, or anything else?
He projects second, but like just barely. Like I'm playing the ADP game with Ant. I have the top 4 like right at ADP basically. So
okay.
I'm at 15% Ant Edwards. Like, yeah, at 15% Donovan Mitchell. Like I'm just running as I should on these guys, and that's how I'm gonna continue to rank them.
Okay, so you don't have a big preference in Donovan or Ant or JB tonight?
No, I'm gonna let RNG take the wheel on that one. I'm literally like at the field on all 3 of those guys. So yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Okay, cool. Rudy got played off the floor a little bit last night, only plays 24, doesn't play all that great, drop bigs against the Warriors. Like, you kind of want guys to press up on shooting. I like Naz Reid tonight. I was playing some Naz Reid. He didn't have a particularly good game there yesterday either. Who are your favorite of like kind of like the back end T-Wolves tonight? Dante in a revenge game years after.
I forgot Dante. Dante was a Warrior? Like,
was he a Warrior before he was a Nick? Am I tripping?
Was he? He was a Warrior.
Yeah. Come on, ball knower, man. Of course.
He didn't get a ring with him though.
No, he did not.
Yeah, I only remember him like Bucks, Knicks, Wolves. That Warriors stint. Came and went. Nas, Jaden, Dante. I think at ADP is how I'd put it. Like
Nas, Jaden, then Dante.
Yeah. Dante really needs some attempts to get there.
Yeah, it's kind of fancy Moses Moody on the other side, you know.
as only you could put it,
man. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I want to like the T-Wolves just because they're like good names to click on and that sort of thing, and because like, you know, I want some of this late night hammer that's the second highest total on the slate, and they're heavy favorites. So like I'm kind of in on it, but yeah, I think Nas is my favorite at ADP in the backgrounds there. And then, you know, something clearly didn't work last night. So like if they're just gonna run this thing back tonight, do you just hope you shoot better, or do you like fundamentally change something? And you know, what is that change? And I think that change is potentially just like playing more Nas over Rudy because the drop big setup isn't great.
Yeah. I mean, against this Warriors team, yeah, for sure. I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Unless you just, you know, just want him to bully Draymond.
Right. Yeah. Okay. My guy Adam in the chat's telling me that I did gloss over Memphis. You're 100% correct. I went on to the next game. I was just so damn excited to not talk about Memphis. We talked about half of that game, but we didn't talk about the other side of it. Oh, what did
No,
I do?
we actually did not.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button, and now I think I read their injury report and then didn't say anything on them. Is kind of what we did there. But let's go back to Memphis here. Okay. Let's have the Memphis conversation here. Obviously, it's a tough spot going up against Houston. We talked about the Cedric Coward stuff, how he's like soft capped and he's getting like tough defensive assignments. He's getting those like 28s and stuff. It's hard to play, especially in this matchup. Santi has missed 4 games. No, only 2 games. Okay. But Jacques Landale's already been ruled out and Santi has the Q tag. I mean, Memphis is pretty forthcoming with their injury report, dude. Like maybe this does mean that Santi's back tonight and Santi is starting. There we go. I'm doing the show without showing people what's going on the screen. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be encouraged to play a little bit of Santi in the last round. Obviously, it's not the greatest spot in the world, but man, they need some size out here. They need some size out here, especially against the Rockets. Yeah, man.
I mean, the Rockets are not a fun matchup for teams, and the Grizzlies are really no exception here. But the thing that I just like get excited about is like when you condense the Grizzlies like this, like I just like take the bait. You know, I just want to like take the condensed Grizzlies and just play them because it's just like it's not often that you get condensed Grizzlies like this. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have trouble staying away from. Well, Jaren Jackson Jr. is expensive, and I like guys more than him, so like that'll be easy. But like, if he's falling behind the guys that I like, I'm gonna take him a bunch. But like Coward and Spencer, man, like I'm gonna have a lot of those too. Just because I just think they're gonna see the floor a ton, and I think they're gonna be involved. But maybe they just end up getting killed and it doesn't matter. Sure, but 5-game slate, man, I can find 30 minutes of guys that I think can do damage. Like, sure.
I snuck another one on the screen there because you know his minutes keep ramping up. GG Jackson's coming for those Cedric Coward minutes, baby. Cedric doesn't play over 27. GG's up to 22 now. Come on, GG. Come on, baby. We need front court help out here. Come on, make it a GG Jackson night one time. Not the spot for it. This is a tough matchup. Yeah, I think Cam Spencer is like literally just playing like the minute side. If Cam gets some Reed, like if Reed's minutes are bullish tonight, give me some Cam Spencer versus Reed Shepherd action out there. Everyone cooks Reed Shepherd, but it's not a great matchup for Cam Spencer when he's getting the almond treatment. But never say never, because we saw Trey Jones go for 27 minutes against. He went for like what 46 fantasy points against Amon there. So maybe Cam Spencer can do his best Trey Jones impersonation there. Where was that game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
so long ago
too worried about it necessarily. Like, he just needs dimes. He just needs his teammates to do their damage. But That is it for me. I do have to bounce. It's still icy here, so we do not have a babysitter, but the virtual calls for my wife don't stop. So I need to I need to get handed off mellow, keep it open.
There you go.
Play action over the shoulder. Touchdown.
All right, dude. All right. Any final words for the people here on favorite last round play or favorite plays at ADP or anything?
I mean, dude, I'm just like gonna draft a bunch of Aiton. So
all right.
We'll see what happens.
Drafted a bunch of Aiton. Famous last words from our guy Nez Takes. All right, dude.
All right, good luck. Save some money for the rest of us.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see you tomorrow, my friend. All right, guys, let's hop in and see what it winds up looking like here. Fire up my solver machine. My first time evergreen. My first time looking at projections will be in tandem with the solver here. So what happened here? Here we go. Oh shit. What's going on? Solver doesn't love me today, guys. Let's see. Give it the old log in and log out again here so we can get the answers to the test. There we go. All right, let's do the damn thing. Hopping in Monday Night Hoops, draft number 11 right here. We highlighted all the new contests that are available on the site at the beginning there. The Eliminator, the big board, the War Room, the little board, and now our guy Brett is telling me that we have the bigger board is now live. So that is calling Best Ball Vipers name right there. Let's do the scroll here, guys. Let's find some plays tonight that nobody else is going to be on. Yeah, I think this like whole territory is like fine. Like this Pods, Nas, Cam, Jaden, Dante's fine. Jalen's fine if they start double big. The other Jalen, Tyson, is fine and even better now that Sam Morrell has been ruled out. So I think those are all like viable plays late. I think Giroux has some ceiling if we can get 25 minutes of Giroux. I think if Santi starts, obviously it's not a good spot, but Jacques Lundell isn't there now. Like, what if we get 28 minutes of Santi tonight? Like, he only missed 2 games. Like, what if he comes back and plays full? Like, that Brooklyn game was the one in which he started, I believe, and then he didn't start the Orlando games. So, like, Santi feels good. Nez shouted out Aiton. I drafted Anthony Simons once. We didn't really talk about... Dude, did we finish the games? On Boston. I think I might have nah-waved Boston a bit too, guys. It looks like they like Anthony Edwards a little bit more than Donovan Mitchell tonight. I could see that from a matchup standpoint. Let's go ahead and trust the solver and take Ant here. Did I nah-wave the Boston side as well? I might have lost my fastball today, guys. Like the Boston side, we didn't even talk about. Like we could take JB, we could take Derek White. I think Pritchard's fine at ADP. I don't like the Kada stuff, but I think Kada and Klingon are like a little bit of push-pull. So that one feels fine in the last round. And then Simons, man. Simons in a revenge game here. You don't think this one means a little bit more to him? He just filled it up for 37 fantasy points. I drafted him once already, so I'm about it. I'm fine with KD here. I'm also fine with LeBron here. I think both are entirely fine. I do lean ever so slightly LeBron. I also think combating some of the Luka teams with the LeBron stuff, is a nice path to the top. We'll see what Jump Free does here. Yeah, I now waved 2 games today. Unbelievable stuff. I'm still buzzing from Friday, guys. Had a couple wobblies with the boys yesterday. watching the Hawks game. I'm running on vibes right now. Amax telling me that Moses Moody's the skeleton key. I actually think it's a totally fine scroll in the last round. That's a beautiful start for Jump Free. He gets the JB plus KD plus Denny Avdia. I think that's good. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is okay here, but I agree with the solver here, man. We talked ourselves into it here that, like, in terms of third round ceiling, I don't think there's a higher third round ceiling than Denny and Giddey. Like, both of these guys could be second rounders today if the minutes break right. And like for Giddey's sake, there's two ways Giddey can get there. He plays off the bench and he plays 25 minutes and he plays fine and nobody else breaks the slate from the third round. And you can win with Giddey. The other way in which you win with Giddey is he plays 28 to 30, rejoins the starting lineup, and he should have been going at pick 7 all morning, right? So there's two paths for Giddey. Denny's is just like, does he play or not, right? So I actually like the Giddey one a little bit more. Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit here. Like, is Denny going to play? Back seems to be an issue now. Yes, it is. Agreed. He folded like a tent the first time it happened. It looked awful. Then he came back, played full. I don't know, man. The coach speak sounded bullish that he was going to play the second night of the back-to-back, and then they just held him out. Dude, I'm treating Denny like he's in tonight. Okay, I'm not in love with the Rudy stuff tonight. I think he can play his way off the floor here. Anthony Black is okay. Kobe White's okay. Jared Allen's okay. I think I'll probably take Anthony Black just because we took Giddey. And I think the ceilings of Kobe White and Giddey are slightly negatively correlated. So just breaking that 1v1 of like a point of projection, we'll just go ahead and take the Anthony Black. But we do realize that the Anthony Black stuff can age poorly if Suggs gets ramped up to full. Like, Suggs' projection right now, 27.28. Like, we're drafting Jared Allen every single time at pick 82, or sorry, pick 22, and he only has a 29.9 projection. Like, that's 2 points difference. And like, Jalen Suggs is going, buried at 35.7. It's a great day to put 2 6th rounders together. Great day to put 2 6th rounders together. Like, these are fractions of percent here, right? Jared Allen goes there. Let's see how his Best Ball Viper goes. Rudy and Jared Allen. Jump Free goes with, we shall see, Naz Reid. I think I'll take Kobe White when he falls this far. I think it's totally fine to pair him and Giddey together when he falls like 5 picks. And then we will scroll with our last pick here. We will preload some scrolls for the community. I think Nez was right about the Cam Spencer stuff. I think it's totally fine, but it's not a great matchup, just understanding that. I think Tyson is totally fine here, especially when we don't have a Cleveland piece yet. I think Santi with the Q tag is entirely fine because if he plays, he starts, I imagine. Not a given, but when Jacques Landell's not there, I do lean that direction. Santi goes at pick 30 there. Jrue Holiday feels entirely good. Ayton feels good and is kind of like another double down on the same game environment. So we could game stack the shit out of the highest total game on the slate with the Lakers and with Chicago there. So you play another Lakers piece. I think Dante is fine. I think Jrue is fine, but you guys can see the projection disagrees. I don't think you want to play Suggs when you have Anthony Black. I think their ceilings are negatively correlated. So let's go ahead and take Tari Eason. It's Tari Eason night in that Rockets game, and Tari Eason cannibalizes the ceiling of these front end Rockets pieces that are getting drafted every single time. And Tari plays, 25 minutes of incredible rates basketball. Yeah, I like that. Jump Free takes Cedric Coward. He pairs 2 6th rounders together. Pretty sharp stuff there. Best Ball Viper takes Tyson, which is a good pick. I like that. Pretty smart by this Quinny. What is this? Quinny 30 on the end here. He goes ahead and goes, hey, I'm game stacking Warriors, but I'm going to take the Q tags in Santi and Draymond Green, taking those Q tags that other people aren't going to pair together. Let's go ahead and hop in here one more. And then let me go to my drafts, my completeds. I think I'm going to have, we'll look at the exposure stuff here. Or what I will do is I'll click here and then I'll sync this way. It's usually just faster. So we can check out the combos as we go on this draft. Oh, we can make a slow draft pick in the dinger too. That's fun. We roll the 106, my least favorite draft slot today. I'm not going to lie. There we go. At the LA airport, waiting on a flight, having a beer and doing some drafts. That's a lifestyle choice, baby. That is a lifestyle. I'm about that lifestyle. Mad respect. Happy to help get you through the waiting on the flight at LAX. All right. There we go. So we take a little peek. We've done 11 drafts thus far. Looks like we got a lot of LeBron James. That's our highest owned right now. We got a good amount of Denny, a good amount of Giddey. So I'm a man of my word. I got a little bit too much Shaden, but I'm totally fine playing Shaden on my non-Denny teams. So if that breaks right, it breaks right in two ways, right? I think if Denny can't go tonight, I think swapping to Love or to Jrue Holiday are pretty clean. I think those are pretty clean, guys. So, yeah. As you guys could see, this whole tier in terms of projection, like I talked about on the show, I was like, hey, 6 through 12 just feels like so effing flat, right? Yeah, I think taking Paulo here is fine. I think taking Sengun is fine. I lean that Sengun's kind of my favorite of this bunch. So I'm going to take him. And then, yeah, we can pair it with Paulo. We can pair it with Almond if we want to play the game environment. Or we can pull up LeBron from the other game environment and hope he cannibalizes Luka ever so slightly. And then we like it. So I'm good with Paulo. I'm good with LeBron here. Let's go ahead and pull up LeBron just so we could show off a little bit. We have not, by the looks of that, done that combo yet, right? Let's see. And Foster, Hicks. All right. Cool. Oh, all right. We'll keep going. Appreciate it. I tried my hardest last night, Saw Dog. I was running routes in the living room. I was, we were throwing the pigskin in the bar there. Everyone was seeing my moves. So, everybody, I did my best to ensure that the Seahawks won last night. That is a we are going to the Super Bowl moment. That's good. There's a good contingency of Seahawks fans in Vancouver. So a large majority of people last night where we were hanging out were all reserving spots for the Seahawks and all wearing their laundry. I wore a little bit of laundry, not going to lie. Our guy Davis hasn't played hoops in a while. Let's get it tonight. Yeah, it's a fun day to play, man. He's 5 gamers. I like that he's 5 gamers. I'm good with it. Denny and Curry, they'll probably both be going a little bit higher than this if they wind up playing basketball. So I like that start. Damn it. Josh Giddey goes there. I was really hoping Giddey would come back to us. Another reason to not take Paulo at the turn tonight, guys, is the fact that, Desmond is there almost every single time, or Anthony Black is there almost every single time. So, you can play them together, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like a smash spot, and it does kind of feel like a max one, early Orlando. So if I lose to Paulo plus Bane teams tonight, kind of throw your hands up and sure. I really like this idea that the Solver's having right now. They like it because of the projection difference. I like it because of the flip the board dynamics. I think it's a really good idea to pull up either Jared Allen or Kobe White here and play, a game environment off of one of the other guys, but also play a unique combinatorial pairing of guys who usually go on the left side of boards. I'm going to pull up Kobe White because we didn't take Giddey and we didn't take Vooch. So the story we're telling this time is that Kobe White smashes versus LeBron on the other side of that because his shot's falling and he plays 30 minutes. He outscores Vooch because they start the double big lineup, and he outscores Giddey because Giddey still only plays 24 off the bench. And we go lead usage Kobe White. So this lineup is telling, a slightly different story than the last lineup was telling, but, we can talk ourselves into a spot as to why this lineup makes sense. You also get some unique, combinatorial because we pulled him up to the other side of the board and projection is not, necessarily telling us to do so, right? Montas at 25. That's kind of like, a fun little wrinkle there. Jabari goes here. Totally fine with that. I think in a dream scenario here, we get Naz Reid to come back. I'm kind of bullish on the Naz Reid spot tonight. I think it's kind of like the change, like assumption of rational coaching that I would make. If we didn't have Desmond Bane, I might scroll all the way down here to take Suggs. I do also like the Tari Eason play, but I like the Tari Eason play a little bit less than if we have the Sengun. Unfortunately, Naz Reid goes there, so I'm going to go ahead and take Pods here. I think Pods is a totally fine click. And then I think we could take Jalen Tyson on the other side of the Desmond Bane stuff. I think that's cool, but I kind of want to get some Santi in my life here and take Santi opposite the Sengun stuff. I think they can both get home. They can both play big minutes tonight. I think you need Santi on the floor a decent amount here. And it also opens up some swappability for value that comes in later. Like if Santi can't go tonight, what does that do for, Memphis? Maybe we don't even want to swap into Memphis, but it also gives us some swappability. The only bad thing that can kind of really happen with Santi tonight is that like he plays off the bench and he only plays like 26 and he has a bad matchup there. But in a vacuum, like playing Santi as if he is just Jacques Landell tonight feels like half decent, right? Yeah. Oh, this is pretty cool. Jay Fresh saying that his buddy and high school teammate is on the Seahawks. That's sick. Bryce Cable Do. I don't know Bryce. Let's see here. I don't know much about this guy. I'm a fraud fan. There you go. A big guard. Sweet. Go Bryce. Shout out Jay Fresh. High school teammates. Cool. Right on. Very cool. That's 2 thumbs to qualify for the NBA Dog Bowl. Oh, go Cards. That was fucking funny. Nice, dude. All right, guys. Let's tie a bow on it there. Kind of said all I wanted to say on the slate. Just a 5-gamer here. Back tomorrow. I haven't come up with a full plan for the week, but I definitely want to get some baseball in, and I want to get some PGA in. Some sharp people in the community have reached out. I think PGA, I'm leaning hopefully next Wednesday would make a lot of sense, but I'm going to look at the calendar. I'm going to figure some stuff out. We'll probably end up doing hoops tomorrow and something else. Then there's 2 more dog bowls this week, Wednesday and Friday. And then Thursday, we'll kind of mix something in. We'll have to figure out the off and on the clock conversation. Maybe we pivot to doing dog bowl this week for off and on the clock. That could be a lot of fun there because obviously there's no football with the week off. And our final, kind of football, that was our last slate breakdown show on Friday, but our Super Bowl or the big game, as they would like to call it, kind of conversations that we'll have will probably just be pick'em related. So, might be a shorter episode of Off and on the Clock next week as well. So we're going to be dipping our toes into the multi-sport forums here. Wow, this is pretty cool. Egger said he played against Cup all through high school. Yeah, Pacific Northwest kid there. Yeah, Eastern Washington, yada yada. Awesome, dude. Fade Scotty in the Albatross. Oh my goodness. I don't have any good pick'em leans right now. It would kind of be guesswork. I'll drop something in the Discord if I come up with something and cook something up with Unabated in a little bit here, but I don't have any big leans. So I think we're just going to call it there. And yes, of course, I'll be chasing another seat. Of course, I will be. Yes, I will. I probably won't be like 150 maxing and just like blindly like, autoing and stuff like that. But I will definitely be chasing another seat. Yes, just the EV associated with it is incredible. Yeah, Moody slide. That's kind of fun. Okay, fine. You guys twist my rubber arm. Let's check out Moody slide. Yeah, probably slide like the threes on Moody. 4.5 threes. You know what goes well with that? Nas Reed in capital letters goes well with that. We got here Nas Reed. Slide Nas Reed threes. All right, let's have some fun. Add the profit booster to that bad boy. There you go. Oh, I need 3 picks to make this work. Okay, we're taking off the profit booster. That's a bad omen to keep it less than 1,000. $26 is 1,000 here. All right, Moses Moody and Nas Reed. They both play expanded minutes because they don't want to play the drop bigs, and then they shoot the lights out. Let's get it. That's kind of fun. Good shout from Miles in the chat. Obviously, I mean, this is a moon shooter, guys. This is a 40xer. But yeah. Is JJJ draftable? Yes, of course he is. Yes. He's gonna have to play a lot tonight, especially when they're undersized. They're not necessarily undersized. They're undermanned at the big position. So like JJJ is gonna have to play a lot and probably start at the 5. But we hope Santi starts at the 5 alongside him. So we will see. But yes, that's crazy. Egger saying basketball team undefeated and won state. Football team was pretty mid. Did Cooper Kupp play on the basketball team too? I imagine a guy that's like that athletic just plays both, but not always. Not a given, Like I wasn't allowed to play senior year of hoops because I was playing hockey. Like it just like I couldn't balance the schedules, right? Like it was just too much practice time. But like hoops and football, how much of it overlaps? Like half of the season, maybe? I don't know. Only white dudes on the team. He's the only white dude on the team. That's hilarious. That's funny. Oh, that's good. All right, guys. Appreciate all the love. Again, appreciate all the love that everybody sent when I won a seat. It was truly cool to see that. Shout out Juice McCaffrey. You had a really nice tweet after that as well. But yeah, a lot of you guys sent some well wishes and some DMs and some stuff on the X machine and in the Discord. So much love, man. It's crazy. I love it that I get to participate now this time around. I hope I can hold that sweet ass check up and really validate this program and these games of skill, man. But yes, best of luck. First things first is tonight. Good luck in the hoop streets, guys. Nose to the grindstone. Great slate to scroll, man. The last 2 rounds here, because the projection band is so narrow and so flat that if you are the guy who picks those last 2 round guys right, you can kind of lap the field with it. So best of luck this evening to everybody. Back tomorrow with Nez, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Much love.